Hello. Hello, good evening. Welcome back to Mano, where we discuss everyday family issues, relationship, society, and culture. Welcome back and good evening. Okay, I don't know why you're watching us from. We are live on Wano on YouTube, also live on Wano on Facebook. So you can join us on any of those platforms. Once again, welcome. Okay, today we will be discussing a topic that many people struggle. I've been talking about many parents as well. They struggle with this topic. We're talking about how to get your kids to listen without resorting to yelling, or you can say it resorting to shouting at them. Okay. How to get your kids to listen without yelling. Effective parenting strategies. Say that to an African parents, especially those women that think that they need to speak louder while while they are communicating with their children in order for them to for the message to get to their children, for the message to absorb, the message to be absorbed or understood effectively. Okay. Referring to some of our sisters, some of our mothers, understand, some of our fathers, you know, those of them don't think that they have to speak louder when they want to communicate to their kids so that the children will understand it more effectively. They believe that when they speak louder, when they yell at them or when they shout, the kids will understand it effectively. Understand? You are aware of what I'm referring to. You understand what I'm talking about, right? When the mother talks to you loudly, she will instruct you to hold your ears back, hold your ears. And then she'll be telling you, do you understand what I'm saying? Did you hear what I said? How many times did I say this? How many times? They'll be like, they will be shouting, they're speaking louder. And the more, you know how it is in Africa. Most of us, we have a husky voice. We have a loud voice. So with the loud voice, when you speak in it, talking to your kids, you understand? Then, and you try as well to make your voice louder. You want to increase the volume. The assumption that the kids will, they will understand you. They will understand you more because if they are hearing it, they will understand more. You understand? So some mothers do that a lot. She will instruct you to hold your ear, so that you can understand me properly. Hold your ear when you're talking to you, and you know that you should never tell her that she is shouting unless you want to die. There's no way you're going to tell your mom or tell your dad that he or she start shouting when they're speaking to you, unless you're ready to die. So for so many of us from Africa, many of us African children, hearing your parents rage or shout is a commonplace. It's a common thing. It happens all the time. And some of you have that, even carry that to your own homes. You carry that mentality now to your own homes. You understand what I mean? So we just want to analyze this. We want to, as a family, let us look into it. Okay. How how can parents get their kids to listen without yelling, without shouting? Is it possible? Is there any way you can talk to your kids without shouting? Is there any way you can communicate to them without yelling at them or shouting at them? You understand? That's what we're asking this evening. And then if it's the first time you're coming across one, please, like I said, we are live on Facebook. You can join us on Facebook and don't forget to follow us on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. If you have not subscribed, you can just have to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell so that anytime we are live or anytime we have an important message, it will get to you. Okay. So we're asking, how can you get your kids to listen without shouting or without yelling? Okay. So the line is open. If you know in ways we can do that, if you know how to communicate to your kids or how to communicate to kids without shouting or yelling, the line is open. I would like you to call me, or you can put on the comment section. Understand? Once it's related to what you are discussing, then I will read them out. The line is free. Call one on now on +44 744 982 3876. Call now. The line is free. Yeah, you can say that yelling can often lead to a negative consequences, and like have a strained relationship between a parent and a child. You understand? So it's important to find alternative strategies. Find other ways to communicate, like what we're discussing this evening. We are looking for those ways. You understand what I mean? To promote effective communication, to promote cooperation between you and your kids. You understand? So tonight we will explore some of the proven techniques. There are some techniques, there are some ways parents can do that. Or you can say so there are some tips that can help parents to communicate effectively or to foster better listening to the children. Okay. We are just looking for ways you can communicate to your kids without yelling or without shouting at them. You understand? So if you know, call me. If you know, call me. I would like to hear from you. The line is open. The number is on the screen +44 744 982 3876. WhatsApp. Just call. Okay. First of all, we have to understand something. We have to look into the understanding of importance of active listening, because you are trying to let your kids to listen to you, because that's the most important thing, isn't it? When you try to communicate to your kids, they have to listen. And some of them, when they are not listening, that's when some parents, you see them, they start yelling at them. They start shouting with their voice going up and up. They start increasing the volume with hope that children will get scared and then listen to whatever they want to say. You understand what I mean? So, you know, understanding the importance of active listening, for them to listen to you, you have to understand what is it. Active listening involves fully concentrating on what the other person is saying. That means when you're communicating to your child, they have to listen to you. You understand? So understanding that perspective and responding appropriately, the children, they understand and listen to you. So by teaching our kids active listening, or you can say active listening skills, we are setting up them, we just want to set them up for success in life, in every aspect of their life, for them to listen. So now it's involving you and the child. As a parent, you're trying now to communicate to your kids, and the kid have to listen to you. And that's where the problem is. In between, how can you do that? And that's what you are looking for, is active listening, for them to listen to you. Yeah, for you to as well not to shout at them. But how can you do that? How can you do that? That is a problem. I already said that when I was starting. I said most of us are that grow in African home, yelling and shouting is a normal thing. It's just a normal thing that happens every day. You understand what I mean? Your mom shout at you, your dad are gonna talk to you, they yell at you, or they have to talk to you. Even we most of Africans, they have a husky voice, or they can speak louder. Okay, and so when they speak, in their voices like that. Then when they increase in their voice, it becomes so loud. And some people, even most places, if you are walking here in Western world, they will sometimes tell you, why you shouting? Why you know that you are not shouting? That's how your voice is. And you're going to be like explaining to them, but I'm not shouting. This is how my voice is. You understand? Because we speak like that. And most of us from their homes, they believe that is the best way to communicate. And they're taking it to their homes as well, to their own family. And some of them are using the same tactics now on their kids. They're yelling, shouting at the kids when they are trying to communicate to them. You understand? So that's what we're trying to do this evening. We're trying to solve it. It's going to be a very, very difficult thing. Well, I will need your help. If you know an effective way you can talk to your kids without shouting at them or yelling at them, please call me. I'll put on a comment section. You understand? But we will try our best to see if we can get very close, or if we can get some strategies that we can implement in our own homes. Understand? You know, because the first thing you have to do, the you have to have that building. You have a parent and child connection. You build a strong parent and child connection. You know, you just need to build a foundation where you can have communication. You can have that effective communication. Do you understand? And how can you do that? You need to know your child. You need to know how to communicate to them. You need to know how to talk to them. Because there are some kid children, the way when you start like shouting at them, or every time you're only talking to them, even from childhood, when they're like even crawling or like walking, when they start little, I'm talking about 3 years, 2 years, you're already starting like, stop doing that, shout, like you start like yelling at them, and they're going to grow with that. And then they get used to it, to the extent that it might result to for you to like, using your hands or something like that, because they're not listening to you anymore. They are tired of even you screaming and shouting at them and all those kind of things. You understand? It happens. Most of you will bear me witness in your homes. If you have children, if you have kids, it happens a lot. You know what I'm talking about. That like they'll be doing something and you're telling them, stop doing that. And they will still be doing that and looking at you like that. What are you going to do? They're looking at you. You can tell them, okay, stop doing that. They will stop. And not 2, 3 minutes, they'll come back again. They still doing the same thing again. You understand? Now you start like getting angry, getting worked up, and then you start screaming, shouting, yelling at them to not to do that anymore. You understand? But how can you talk to them now without yelling? Because some according to some statistics, there are some consequences that follows yelling and shouting to your kids. They affect them yes, affect them mentally as well, affect them physically. Some of them, you see that they will not have that, what they call a confidence in themselves, because already they keep on from childhood, they're already like, being shot at, they're being like always yell at. Because of that, they will just jump into their shell. They will not be confident in front of people because they're afraid that they will shout at them as well. If they do something, they will shout at them. If they speak something, that person might be offended and then resort to shouting at them, and they are tired of receiving all those like yelling and shouting and all those kind of things. So because of that, they will not have that full confidence in front of people to speak. You understand? So how can you do? What can you do in order for you to like, stop yelling or shouting at them so that they can excel in whatever they're doing? They can have that confidence when they speak into people without fear of being yelled at, without fear of that person shouting at them. Do you understand? So that is it. You need to One of the things you might do is spending the quality time with your child. Just try to know how to connect a deeper in a deeper level. You can enjoy. There are some activities your child might like to do. There are some things they like to do. Talking about, because if your child is already grown, if you're a teenager and you be shouting at them from childhood to the time they are teenager, it's going to be a little bit difficult because that's what they know. But you can still reverse that. It's trying to find time just to know, spend a little bit more of time just to like study them, know what they really like to do, the games or books or things that they're interested in. And then you try to do that with them. Bring yourself a little bit down to their own level, then speaking to them directly. It's not by scolding or being a parent now. You try to be close to their level, then chat with them, talk with them. You understand? And when you're doing something like that, you can see that you start like observing them. You know now what and how to relate to them. What I'm trying to say is this: when you when you start to, because most of us when you grow, we grew in a home where if they're passing the message to you, it has to be, hey, go and get that. Hey, go. I'm calling you. Where are you? Come. Those kind of it's always like that in some of homes. And you you're tired of, even if when they're not like shouting to you or when they're not like telling you something like that, you'll be amazed because you'll be like, well, maybe something is wrong here. Parents, some of African parents, I'm just referring to African parents at the moment because it's common in African homes. Understand? They unknowingly, we always yell to our kids. We try, or most times we do that because our voices, like I already said to you, we already have a loud voice. With that already, the passing message, it sounds loud. You understand? You know? So by spending time with their child, trying to know what they like to do. I'm talking about trying to know what they are interested in, the activities that they enjoy or they like doing. Maybe there are some games they like playing. You can just try to make out time. It will not make the child to disrespect you. No, you can see that now they will be amazed because mom or dad has never done this before. Mom is playing with me and all that. Because if you watch some teachers in school, how they relate to students, how they relate to their pupils. Some of them teachers that are very good. Some of them are the ones that play. They are playful. They always play with those kids. They like to find out what those kids they like doing, and they use it to get to them. Now, when they're playing with those kids already like they are not afraid anymore. They are open to them. Now they can relate to them. They can talk to them in the language that they can understand. You understand? You relate to them, telling them, okay, don't do that. When you do that, it's not right. The child will look like you, will listen. They'll do that. They'll listen to you. Okay, it's just one way you can do that. It's just one way that you can try, you know, to make your child to listen to you without shouting at them or yelling at them. Do you understand what I mean? It's just one way. Another way can be what we call active engagement. Active engagement, where you show genuine interest in their activities, genuine interest in their life by engaging in conversation about their day. Genuine interest. They come back from school, You just want to know genuinely. It's not like because you're faking it. You genuinely want to know how their day was. Do you understand? How was your day? What happened? Everything. So everything that concerns them that day. You want to know genuinely how their day went. What did they do in school and everything. Because when you're doing that, at the beginning, it might sound strange because you don't used to do that. But you start doing it. The child will be shocked. But you continue doing what you're doing because you know what you want. You know what you're looking for. Understand? Gradually, you foster trust. And you see that you encourage the child now to do or to be open to you, to communicate, to speak to you. You understand what I mean? They will speak to you. And from there, you can communicate with them, you can talk to them. They can relate to you. Do you understand what I mean? I'm talking about active engagement, genuinely interested in what your child is doing, genuinely interested in their life activities, engagement. I mean, I'm talking about how their day went, their life concerns, everything about how they did throughout that day. You understand? I know it might not be that easy because some children might try to manipulate and all that, but we're looking for ways to make your child to listen without yelling, without you shouting at them. We're talking about effective parenting strategies. You understand what I mean? That's what we're discussing this evening. If you know ways, maybe strategies or tactics that you're using, you can call me, let me know. Okay? Just call, the number is there, call, or you can put on a comment section. Understand? Also, when you're trying to engage and trying to spend quality time, you have to do what? Make sure that you set a clear expectations and boundaries. There must be boundary. You are a parent, and that's a child, right? And it's your son or your daughter. Set a complete clear expectations and boundaries. And when you're doing that, it's creating a harmonious environment where the children feel secure and understand what is expected of them. Now you're telling them the consequences of their actions, the consequences of them not listening to you, the consequences of them doing what they are doing. Do you understand? I've been talking to you about this, and you keep on doing it. The more you're doing it, the more you are disrespecting me, the more you don't listen to me, I will be very upset. And when I'm upset, it's not going to be all right because I will punish you. You understand? You clear expectation. You don't do that anymore. Don't do that again. Let them understand the boundaries. Let them understand the expectation of them, what you expect them to do. You understand? As you are trying to spend quality time with them, you try to engage in the activities and all that. You still do what? Create that boundary and let them know what you expect from them. Let them understand what you expect from them. We're talking about how can you let your kids listen to you without yelling or shouting at them. You understand? And when you're doing, giving them, letting them know that expectation, what you expect from them, you need to be consistent in whatever rules or whatever you're telling them. You need to be consistent. Consistent is you need to be firm. This is how the rules is. This is what you're going to do. Do you understand? You set that rules, consistent rules, and the consequences. Once they did not do that or they didn't follow the rules, you're already giving them the expectation. You already tell them what the consequence is going to be. You understand? That is it. You already communicated. You understand where you're coming from. You provide structure. You tell them that is it. This is what you have to do. This is that. If you do this again, that punishment. This is what is going to happen. This is what is going to happen. Do you understand? The children already know that. But the most important thing is for you to do what? Active engagement. Active engagement. Because sometimes you see some children, you see that some people, like mostly in Africa, they say that they are stubborn. They don't listen. That's the way the child doesn't listen. Does not mean that it doesn't listen. Sometimes they need attention. The parents doesn't have time to spend with them. They don't have time to, like, spend little quality time with the kids. So the little time the child has now with the parent, what happens? You see them. They need attention. And when they need attention, most of them, they will not know how to seek that attention. And the only way they can seek attention is through what? Maybe you can say misbehaving, or they doing things that you don't like. You might be watching movie, or you might be watching your TV, or you might be reading books, or you might be doing something. And that is when they will come straight away. They want to disturb you. To you, you can say that they are coming there to disturb you, that you are busy, you are doing something. But as a child, the child needs your attention. Maybe they want to play with you, they want to chat with you, or they want to, do you understand? They need your attention that period, and you are not giving them that. You see that what happens? They'll start doing everything possible to seek that attention by resorting to what you can call misbehaving. Do you understand? But consistent rules, setting clear boundaries, setting clear expectation, the child knows. Because as a parent, you're spending quality time. You're trying to know the child. You're trying to communicate with them. You're trying to know what they like to do. You're showing interest in what they're interested in. You're showing concerns in their daily activities and in their daily lives and all that. Okay? Those are some ways you can do that. Those are a few ways you can do that. Like I said, the line is open. You can still call me and let me know if there are ways that you know that can foster, or that you know that someone can use to talk to their kids without yelling. The line is okay. It's open. You can call me. You know, when a child, what we're discussing about children, okay, some of them, because when the kids they get to a teenage age, it's quite a little bit difficult for you to manage, because now they're having their own life. They can make decisions on their own. You understand what I mean? Talking about children, kids like between 12 years down. Those ones, maybe they're still listening, they are still learning, they're still, like, they can listen to you directly. All right. How can you manage them? How can you talk to them without yelling? How can you make them listen to you without shouting at them? Okay. That's what we're discussing. You know, effective communication technique. How can I communicate? The technique. How can you communicate? Because the only thing I know how to do is maybe is shouting at them. You're yelling, or when you talk, you speak loud. And then you might ask, okay, how can I do that without, how can I change my tone of voice or something like that? Or is there any other way I can do? I can talk to them. I can, like, communicate to them in another way. It's effective communication technique, because it comes to when you are expecting the kids to listen to you without yelling. Now you're looking for alternatives way to do that. The first thing you have to do is you have an active listening. As a parent, active listening. How can you, as a parent, listen to the child? Because it goes two ways. Okay, when you're communicating to someone, the person listens to you, and when that person is talking to you back, are you listening? Do you understand? Children, they communicate as well. So when they're talking to you, when they're talking to the parents, are you listening to what they want to say to you? Because when you listen to them, you are teaching them how to listen. Okay, as a parent, you need to learn how to do what? To be an active listener. And how do you do that? You have to give your child full attention when they speak. You give your child what? Full attention when they speak. When you give them full attention, when you listen to what they speak, sometimes you will feel, if you like repeat what they tell you, telling them now what happens, they'll know that you're listening to them. It will encourage them to do what? Do the same. You encourage them to what? Reciprocate and listen attentively when you speak because you are listening to them. You're giving them attention, active listening. When they talk, you listen, you repeat what they say. You give them that word encouragement that you are listening to them. So when you are talking to them, when you are listening to them, they will listen to you. They will listen to you. Okay. It's the time now to remember those that are celebrating the birthdays. I have few people that celebrated their birthday this week. Okay. We have Ben Zenwa. We have Chiavo Inefu Bright. We have Miracle Michael, Doris Oluchi, and Ujunwa Chede and Patrick Aga. All right. Happy birthday, Ben Zenwa. Happy birthday, Bright. Happy birthday, Miracle Michael. Happy birthday, Doris Oluchi. Happy birthday, Ujunwa Chede. And happy birthday, Patrick Aga. Like we normally say here in Wano, we wish you whatever you wish yourself, and we pray that God will grant you your wishes. And we've got some jingles for you. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, guys. Make sure you celebrate your birthday to the fullest. Take yourself out, go out there and enjoy yourself. Okay. And like we always say, I said, whatever you wish yourself, we pray that God will grant you your wishes. Understand? No, we continue, we just keep on going what we discuss this evening. How can you how can parents get their kids to listen without yelling? How can parents do that? How can you talk to your child, or how can you make your children to listen to you without shouting at them? You know, when sometimes you can use a I statement, what they call I statement, instead of blaming or criticizing your child, whatever little things they do, instead of yelling and criticizing them, calling them names, you can just use I statement. For example, say, I feel frustrated when you don't listen. I feel frustrated. I feel annoyed when you don't listen to me. Most times when I talk to you, I feel frustrated because you don't listen to me. And that is not right. Rather than telling them, you never listen to me. You never listen to me. You understand? So by using that I statement, you're not putting blames, but you're giving them the opportunity, you understand, to do correct whatever they are doing. You're not laying blame on them. You are not like criticizing them directly. You are just giving them opportunity to change ways, change how they behave. Understand? You know, if that didn't work, he can use problem solving strategies. He used problem solving strategies to follow them. Strategies, we're talking about problem solving strategies. Sometimes conflict arise when the best communicator or best communication techniques didn't work, you know. And this is when you use what? Problem solving strategies. Like, for example, use empathy. Empathy. Understand? Hello. Hello. Good evening. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah. No. Good evening.
Hello. Yeah, good evening. Um, I've been listening and I'm so much interested in the topic we are discussing.
Okay.
Right. I think whenever we talk about parent-child relationship, we must look at some factors, like say making your children to listen without yelling at them.
Mm.
Number one thing I think as a parent, you have to be a role model to your children in the essence or in the aspect of having these communication skills, being a good listener,
Mm-hmm.
you must have that quality of listening to even your spouse, let to your children too. You must have that ability listening to whoever you are with, so that when you start raising children or you have children, you see that when they always see you, you have that enablement of listening to people.
Mm-hmm.
So they will always learn from you. That's number one. Number two, I think as a parent, you must have this clear communication in your home. Like you said, setting boundaries,
Yeah.
letting them know this is how this thing should be. Without it, you keep hearing, but when you make it known to them, these are the boundaries in this house,
Mm-hmm.
basically, and you are so mean or rigid on it,
And you're
you are
consistent with
so
it.
firm, you are consistent
Yeah.
on it,
Mm-hmm.
they will learn. Once they will just keep it to themselves. Ah, this is the boundary to my dad. Do I must not trespass? Oh, no, this one.
Mm.
Once it gets to that boundary, they will always respect it because it has been stated even before they came in. You have that boundaries already with you.
Mm.
Yeah. Another one I want to say, which although you said it, but I still want to. When you set expectations to your children, you always see them. These are the measures. When you set expectations, you see them. They will always listen to you because there are things that are before them. If they don't get it right, daddy will not do this thing. Daddy will not do this thing for us. They will always listen to you. So when you don't set expectation to your children, or you must get to this level, this one, this is what I always set a target for them. You always see them listening to you. They won't be wayward or being disobedient to
Mm-hmm.
your orders.
Okay. All right.
Right. Many parents, especially from this area of this area or our nation I came from,
Mm.
parents they hardly have this positive language to their children. I think it's a good measure when you want to talk to your children, you always talk to them positively, just like even if you want to call them, you call them in a manner with some kind of you are called some respect, like please, can you come?
They don't. I
You
don't.
always make
That's what. If you. That's what I was saying. Most of them. When I started, I said some parents. Especially. I'm sorry to say this, but most of our mothers. You understand? Majority of mothers isn't here, even here in the West. Some of African homes, because mostly, how mothers are the ones that are very, very close to the kids. You understand? Some of them, when when they want to communicate to their kids, most cases they yell, they shout at them, they yell with hope. Maybe don't know how. I don't know what is in their mind. Maybe if they are shouting like that or they're yelling at those kids, it will make those kids to to hear them more or something with that. And sometimes you can see that kids, some of them will be saying, why is mom shouting? Why is mom yelling? You know what I mean? You understand what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's the way, even because them they grow up with that and they believe that is a normal thing. You understand? So it's like that. Even some of homes, majority of us, majority of people I know that in their homes is the same thing because that's the way it is. It's normal thing that they have to yell or they have to shout at their kids when they are communicating to them.
Once again, all right. So, lastly, on my point, I think parents should have this strategy of getting the attentions of their children. You always know their point of interest,
Mm-hmm.
give an instruction.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just be giving instruction without knowing if they really, if the attention is there. Maybe you just set up your own strategy, maybe eye contact, or you call them by names,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that the attentions are towards in whatever you want to say. With this little point of mine, I think if we can apply it in our life, I think yelling will reduce.
Bit. Yelling would reduce. I like that. Because because for you to say that it's going to stop my fully, I think it's going to be very difficult. At least for it to reduce and all that, it's going to be okay.
So I think I'll give room for another person to.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for your call. Appreciate that. Okay. Yeah. We are still on how to get your kids to listen without yelling. We're looking at the effective parenting strategies. Okay. If you know how, in ways that a parent can talk to the kids without yelling at them or shouting at them for them to listen, the line is open. You can call me. The line is vacant now. You can call me and you'll get through. All right. And nothing that he he pointed or he mentioned that I would like to highlight more is he said that some parents, when they're communicating to their kids, some of them they don't really like use a positive vibes. They always maybe they talk to them negatively, which may have an impact in the child. Understand that most times when you're speaking to your kids in a negative manner, you affect them. You affect them negatively, big time, because they will never forget those words. They will never forget those bad words that you keep on telling them. It's in there. And sometimes you see them, you will affect them. You will affect them like some of them will not have confidence in themselves anymore. Sometimes start seeing them, they start behaving badly in school. Their grades will start going down because they don't really have that confidence. They don't believe in themselves anymore. Those are the things. Okay. And parents should show empathy. When you're showing empathy towards your children, it helps them feel understood and valued. Showing empathy. So, when a parent should when they like acknowledge their child's feelings, even if they don't agree with their behavior, by validating their emotions, they have emotions. Parents think they have emotions. And once you're validating their emotions, once you're acknowledging that their feelings, that most of the things, maybe the way you communicate or talking to them is making them to be angry. Is affecting them. You understand? And then by validating those emotions, you can see that you are creating a safe space to open a dialogue. The child will have that space now, will have that confidence to talk to you. They will communicate. And when you talk to them, you see that they will listen because you have empathy. You are showing empathy towards them. It's not all the time harsh, beating up, shouting, yelling all the time. Show empathy. You show empathy. Understand? Those are the things. There are a lot of ways, because as a parent, you learn every day. There was a time you were a child. There are a lot of things that you pass through. There are some traumas that you went through from your parents that you will not like to take to your children. You will not like to your kids to like experience the same. They growing up. You understand? And the best way to do that is to find out, to know your child better. Spend more time with them. Try to, know what they are interested in and show big concern in what they are doing, their daily activities. Do you understand what I mean? It's not like being fake, being genuine in what they are doing. It will not make you less parent. No, try to know what they're doing. Most times, you would even you would think maybe their child is not watching you. They are watching you. They are watching your body language. They are watching your tone of voice. They want to know everything. I'm talking about non-verbal communication when you are not communicating with them. The way you react, the way you talk, the way you relate to them, the way you even your body posture, everything, they are watching that. Okay. So you can see that their body language and tone of voice are powerful tools in communication. Parents should maintain an open. We're talking about open and calm posture. When you're talking to a child, just use a gentle tone. Sometimes you try to do that. I know it might be difficult, but try to use a gentle tone and make eye contact when you're speaking with your children. Talking to them, speak to them calmly. Let them understand that whatever they did, that he didn't like it. And didn't like what he did. The way you're behaving is frustrating. And I don't like that. Talk to them with eye contact. It's not every time that we're going to have a punishment or you scolding or not something like that. That's the way you're going to relate. You'll be surprised that they will come back and say to you, I'm sorry. Dad or mom, I'm sorry. Okay? They're remorse. Then what do? That's when you show your empathy. You show your empathy as a parent. Do you understand what I mean? And when you're doing this, you can see that it conveys what? It conveys respect and encourages attentive listening. Because what we are discussing this evening is about listening. It's all about listening. Talking about attentive listening. For your child to listen to you without you shouting or scolding at them, shouting or yelling at them. You understand? The caller said that you need to be a role model. You need to be a role model. And that is one of the things that many people might not understand. You need to be a role model because you need to be you need to be the person that your child wants to be like. When they ask your child who you want to be, they say they want to be like my dad, I want to be like my mom, because you are their role model. When your child doesn't want to be like you, what does it say about you? When your child despises you, when the child doesn't say anything good about, because they are always afraid, they're always saying bad, your attitude towards them is irritating and all that. That is not good. That is not good. You need to be a role model. When you're looking for your children, I want them to listen to you without yelling at them or shouting at them. First of all, you need to be a role model. You need to be the person that behave in a way that you want them to behave. Do you understand? How do you talk to them? How do you behave when you are around other people? How do you behave to their mother? How do you behave to their father? They are watching all of those things. You know what? How do you talk to their mother? How do you talk to their father? They're watching all those things. You understand? How do you relate to your friends? How do you talk when you are around with your friends? All of those things they're watching. Then when you come to them, how do you communicate to them? How do you talk to them? They're watching all those things. So those are the kind of things that they they look at every day. Because if parents consistently demonstrate respectful communication, active listening, and self control, children are more likely to emulate those behaviors. Respectful communication. You're not the kind of person that always using F words and some other nasty words in front of your kids. If you do that, they will emulate. When you are with other people talking, you're listening to all those people. You are giving them full attention, active listening. The same way with your kids, active listening, they will reciprocate. They will emulate those behaviors. When you have self control, you have self control. You control your emotions. You control your anger and some other things. They will emulate those. Understand? So those are the things. As a parent, you're learning every day. There are some things, characters that you might even exhibit that you too have to like find ways to change in order for your kids, to children, to listen to you, to follow in your footsteps. You understand? You know, try to be a role model. Okay. So, in conclusion on what we discussed in this evening, what we are talking about, how can parents get their kids to listen without yelling? In conclusion, can say that parents can do what they have to get their kids to listen without yelling by building a strong parent-child relationship. You set clear expectations and boundaries using effective communicational techniques. You employ positive reinforcement and being a positive what? Role model. Those are the things. So when you're implementing these strategies consistently and also adapting them to the individual needs of the child, you can see that as a parent, you are fostering a healthy and respectful environment that promotes attentive listening and cooperation. The child will listen. They'll start cooperating with you. You understand? Those are the things. Like I said, it's easier said than done. But if you put in a lot of work, if you really really like to like change your attitude or change your ways, your behavior around your kids, the way you communicate to your kids, the way you relate to your kids, it's possible. And you see a lot of changes. You'll be amazed that they will listening to you. They start listening to you. They start being obedient. They will start like, obeying whatever you tell them. They start smiling and they start being around you and they start enjoying your company. And those are the things that parents looking for. You understand? You know. Okay. Those are the things. And then we're coming to the end of our program this evening. Okay. Please don't forget to share this program and then don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to follow us on Facebook. We're also on TikTok. One on TikTok. Okay. That I'll see you guys next week Friday. You've got Thursday. Good night and enjoy your weekend.